Well, greetings, YouTube model people. How's it going? So here is a response video to the questions posed by Less Interesting, who is featured asking our buddy Dirk Pitt some questions, 15 questions. And Dirk Pitt, of course, being over the YouTube channel, Dirk's Numa Files, N-U-M-A Files. So definitely check out his questions and answers. It's quite fun and interesting. So here we go. We're going to get right into the 15 questions. They are a little, well, slightly out of order here, and we'll get to that in a moment. But here we go. Right off the top, what was your first car? My first car was a 1977 Nova. And the interesting thing about this car was it was a used car that my father bought for my mom to use. Then it was handed down to my older brother as his first car to use. And then it was handed down to me as my first car to use. So it went through the ringer for sure. And it was in pretty sad shape by the time I got to drive it as my first car. The funny part is my brother drove it on the highway one time and it had a white vinyl top, and the whole vinyl top blew straight off the car and never to be seen again. My father put some kind of weathering paint on there that just happened to be silver, but it also, the car took on the identity of the silver bullet from friends after that happened. So yeah, and also the other fun thing about this car was it liked to stall on left turns. So what could possibly go wrong? First time driver, new driver, driving a 77 Nova that liked to stall on left turns. Beautiful, right? Next question, coffee or tea? Oh no, sorry, next question. Thing you would buy if you won the lottery? Well, the thing that I would get the most out of winning the lottery is financial peace of mind, but that's kind of boring. But really, what I would do is probably take at least a 1 month long luxury vacation with the lottery win. Next question, coffee or tea? Yes, I drink one coffee, usually, sometimes more during vacations and such, but one coffee a day after dessert, or with dessert, not after dessert, but with dessert. And hot tea, I've become a fast fan over the years. I drink one, sometimes two hot teas a day. So really, if I had to pick one of the two, I'd say tea, hot tea. What was your most embarrassing moment? Well, that's pretty easy. Basically, our town, like the town I grew up in, had a youth center. And a lot of the teenagers there went to the youth center to spend time, especially on the weekends. And it was very crowded one particular night. And this wonderful silver bullet 77 Nova car that I had was parked right out front. And I ended up just basically leaving, and I was kind of not paying attention much. And I backed up right into a car that was driven by a father who was there to pick up his two daughters. Luckily, nothing serious happened. Actually, only a small dent in the car. But you know what? It's one of these beautiful cases of go big or go home type scenarios, because the car I hit was a 1988 Cadillac. So, you know, again, you're going to pick a car to hit as your first accident. What's better to hit than a Cadillac, right? So there you go. What's the craziest thing you've ever done? Truthfully, it may be considered more disturbing than crazy. I'm not going to reveal that. I'm sorry. I know that's kind of going against the spirit of the questions and answers, but only two people besides me know what that is. But anyway, one of the craziest things I've done for sure was down the street from where I grew up, there was a park. And in the park, older teenagers and young college-age guys built a BMX dirt track and made all kinds of crazy ramps and berms. And so I took my banana seat bike at the time down to the park and tried to jump one of these almost basically 3.5 foot high dirt ramps. And let me tell you, that was pretty crazy and pretty damn scary. Fortunately, no damage to me or the bike, so I was pretty lucky. But That was pretty crazy and pretty scary for sure. So the next question is, are you left or right-handed? I am right-handed. I mentioned an older brother. He is right-handed, but interestingly enough, our father was left-handed. 6, snacks. Ah, yes, snacks. Salt or sweet? I am a major sweet tooth, come from a long line of sweet teeth in our family, all the way my grandmother, my father, me, my aunt, we're all sweet teeth. But interesting thing is too, is I will often eat both in a snacking night, and I always have to have the sweet, usually ice cream, before the salt. That's just always has to be. But to me, if you add salt and sweet, it's sweet every time. All-time favorite actor or actress? So I'm just going to throw one out here. I love movies, so this is a tough question, but I'm just going to say Tom Hanks. Next question is, did you ever serve in the U.S. Armed Forces? I have not served in the U.S. Armed Forces, and I'm not currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. My uncle did. He was in the U.S. Army and the Air Force. All right, next question. Have you ever been arrested? No. But I certainly did some things that could have gotten me arrested or at least taken in to the police station as a teenager. Nothing crazy, but yeah, they would have taken you in and called your parents for sure. Have you ever paid for sex? No, I've never paid for sex. What is your favorite band or performer? Well, you know what? I'm just going to give you one of each. Favorite band, I love the rock genre, so my favorite band is Van Halen. That's mainly the early years. And favorite performer, interestingly enough, I hate to say it's kind of a toss-up too, Sammy Davis Jr. and Elvis. Top 3 records you would take with you if you were deserted on a remote island somewhere. So I mentioned Van Halen, so I would take the album Van Halen, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd, and the Pat Metheny Group, Greatest Hits. It's a jazz group. Excellent, super guitar, jazz guitarist is Pat Metheny. What do you do for a living? Interesting enough, similar to Dirk, I work in IT and computers. Had different roles and responsibilities over the years. I've been in that business for 27 years. And right now I'm an IT internal auditor. So I get no phone calls or emails from anybody because nobody wants to talk to an auditor, it seems. Favorite TV show? I think this is our last question. Favorite TV show? I don't watch any current TV shows or follow any current TV shows, and I haven't done so in a long time. So I'll just say, growing up, my best friend and I, our favorite TV show was Three's Company. It actually is a show that started over in Europe, and then they basically recreated a version of that show over here in the United States. But yeah, Three's Company, Jack Tripper, character, AKA John Ritter, super amazing, funny, physical comedy actor. And he was always fun to watch. And you know what? The show was very basic and it didn't take itself too seriously. It was just good fun. All right, folks, less interesting. I hope you enjoyed those responses. And Dirk, thanks for putting out the questions. Always fun to do these. And we will be seeing you later. All right, cheers.